What's up, everybody? It's your boy King David. Back at it with another video. This video, I'm going to talk about retention, the journey, and a couple other things. And basically, we're going to go into like lust, right? We're going to talk about lust, and we're going to talk about um, what you should avoid and what's acceptable, right, guys? So, through the years of like practice with retention, guys, like I've noticed like a big thing is that when you begin retention, like when you first start retention, you're kind of heavy on the lust, right? I feel like every guy is like when they begin like retention, unless like you weren't like too, addicted to lust or addicted to like watching the hub and stuff or watching corn. Um, your lust is going to be pretty high. Like it's going to be set, like the bar is going to be pretty high on your lust, right, guys? So the idea is that you want to get to a place where you're not lusting after women. So the do's and the don'ts, guys. Like do's are pretty simple. You can still be on Instagram. You can still look at girls in like bikinis and stuff. Like if you're at the beach, you're gonna see girls in bikinis, right? If you're in public, you might see a girl in a bikini. If you're, at a store, you might see a girl in risque clothing. You're at the gym, you're gonna most likely see a girl in leggings, right, guys? Even in public, you're gonna see a girl in leggings. Like that's attractive to you, right? She has a nice body, she has a nice shape. That's good. Now here's like the key part that a lot of guys like mess up on this journey with, and I included had messed up on this myself, is like you see a girl like that and then you get into like a lustful mind state, right, guys? Like you don't want to be in a lustful mind state. You don't want to start like imagining things that you would do to this woman or imagining like possible scenarios that you could have had with this woman. You have to leave it like a blank slate, guys. I think that's like the best way to put it, right? Is you're going to see women that you're going to be attracted to, but majority of the time, especially if you're on retention, you're not going to vibe with these women. Like, not everybody is meant for you. Not everybody you're going to be able to talk to. Not every woman you're going to want to sleep with. So, you got to understand that walking up and talking to these females, it becomes more of an option, right, guys? And I think that a lot of guys, they think like if you're retaining, you're just like always like never gonna approach or you're not gonna like talk to women. Like approaching women, first of all, is pretty much dead these days because they have all these dating sites and stuff. But like it's kind of in the woman's ballpark now. Like you can approach a woman, but it has to be kind of more like of a natural like greeting, and then you like compliment her on something or compliment her in particular, like her eyes or her smile or her hair. You know what I mean? Or the shoes that she's wearing. You typically want to do that. If I mean, I don't want to make this into like a dating thing or like talk about like how to like say the right things to a woman. I'm just gonna like point out the facts on semen retention and lust in this video. So guys, like when you are lusting and you're in public, that's an energy, guys. Like a lot of men don't realize this, but like you're at home, you're watching the hub, you go out, say with your boys, you're going to the gym, you still have the hub brain on your like you're still thinking about whatever you watched when you were at home, guys. Like You go out in public, you're talking to a female, maybe. You're still young, right? Maybe you're in high school, or maybe you're older, like my age, right? But you still are not hip to like understanding the differences between when to approach and when not to approach a woman. I feel like women get approached by so many different guys that like there's so many different energies that they have to like reject and like dismiss from their day-to-day lives, that they understand like if you're gooning or if you're in that like realm of gooners. So it's not about success rates, guys. It's not about like can I pull chicks or not, guys. Lust is just a bad thing to have. Like it's okay to have, how can I put it, guys? Like to have lust, you don't want to completely eliminate it. Like if you're in a relationship, uh I mean, you do want to completely eliminate it. Like that's the funny thing about lust is like you want to get to the point where you have none. Like I'm sorry, I kind of messed up. I was thinking about something and I've had like a couple glasses of wine. So like it kind of like lost my thought pattern here. But lust is detrimental because with women, they have lust too, but their lust is more subtle. It's very like undetected. A lot of guys' lust is out front, open. I want to get you in the sheets and do something to you, kind of a lust, right? Like every word that comes out of your mouth, if she's an attractive woman, is like that in particular. Like you're talking to her like she's an object. Like a lot of guys don't realize this, but like you're talking to her like you're going to sleep with her. You want to get with her so bad, right, guys? Or like if you're a dude who's more like a stud, right, guys? Like look at the mannerism of like a guy who gets a lot of girls, right? Guy who gets a lot of girls, he's usually focused on himself, and he's usually not too worried about the females, right? He's interacting with them. He's kind of playful. He's kind of joking with them. He's kind of like making it into a game. So he's like stimulating their mind and making them think about him more than like a guy who's just like bland or something. Like if you're bland, guys, some women are like into that, but most women aren't into like a bland guy, all right, guys? Like you gotta be like I don't want to make this into a dating thing, guys. Like I've always talked about retention in my videos, but I mean you gotta be like interesting to a degree, but that just naturally comes out when you're retaining, guys. If you're not retaining, you're like lost for words. You're not gonna know what to say. You might even be thinking about what to say next, which leaves like an awkward silence between you and the girl. And then you end up like fumbling the whole interaction of actually connecting with the person. So if you're like more of like a stud dude, but you released a lot, she's still gonna be interested in you, but she's not going to be all over you as if you were like retaining, guys. Like retaining, you bring out the best of yourself, and you're gonna like find a girl who's really like down with who you are, and it's gonna be a better and more solid connection between you two. So let's get back into lust, guys. Like I'm sorry, I kind of like went off track here. um you got to kill lust, and like I said, it's okay to look at these videos on the internet. Like it's almost unavoidable, guys. Like you're going to be scrolling through Instagram and you're gonna see some girl who's attractive in a bikini. Like that's almost like her job in a way, right, guys? I don't want to say it's her job, but it's like she wants to show her body off to the world, and a lot of guys want to see that, including me. Like I'm not gonna be like, man, like I'm just obliviously blind to like the reality of a good looking woman. But you got to think to yourself like you're not gonna see this girl unless you know her or unless you like or in LA or something, or you're like in a place that usually has women of that caliber, of that beauty, right? Like the baddies, right? When we talk about baddies, we talk about like to me, usually when you say like you see a baddie, like a lot of people be saying, "Oh, she's a baddie" or whatever. To me, a baddie is like the top five, right? A baddie's got to reach the top five. You're saying baddie, like she's got to be the top five, like the most beautiful woman you've ever seen in your life in person. And like she's up there with the top five of the best looking women that you've ever seen in your life, right, guys? Like, then you can say she's a baddie. So, you know what I mean? When you're looking at Instagram, you're seeing a bunch of different women. Most of them in person, if you saw them, uh, you wouldn't say she's. I mean, some guys would. It depends on like, it's all preference, right, guys? Like to me, I think like there's really only two girls on Instagram I would really consider baddies, right? But the thing is, there are other women that are in that caliber, but to me they just don't really fit the build, right? They don't really fit what you would be more interested in terms of like reality, right? Like if you saw her on the street and you saw her like passing you by, you'd be like, man, that's an attractive woman. But in like long term, like of a relationship with this person, say if you did get with this woman and it happened to like work out between you two, you're not really going to be as attracted to her as if you saw one of the baddies that you're like really thinking about, right? Like, say if you got with one of these girls that are like an Instagram model, right? You got with like one of the badder ones. Like, you got with like the ones that a lot of guys are like heart emojis and stuff on these girls' pages, right? You get with one of the bad ones, right? And then you come across one of the baddies, right? The top five, right? You see her in person, you're instantly gonna be like, my girl is bad that I'm with, but you see one of the baddies and she's like number one or number two, you're gonna be like mind blown. Like your mind's gonna be blown away. Like you know your girl is already like a very attractive woman. A lot of guys want to get with her, but when you see the top, the top dog, right? The top B word. I don't really like to say all that, guys. Look, but the top female, right? You see the top one, right? You're gonna be like blown away. Like, guys, you're gonna look at her and be like, whoa, my girl's good looking, but this girl is like clearly like perfect in terms of just looks, right? So there's a reason why you're with the girl that you're already with. That's like, you guys connect more and stuff like that. It was meant to happen. God ordained these things, and you're just with this person, and it seems to work out just fine, right, guys? Um, or it works out better than just fine, right? So when you see this top contender. I said contender, guys. Look, no, look, guys. I'm just playing around with you. But honestly, when you see a girl of that caliber, right? You see a girl that's like super good looking, and you're already with a good looking girl. The first thing that comes to your mind, this is what happens with guys, right, guys? Like the first thing that comes to your mind is like, man, I want her. I want the number one more than the girl that I'm with. Now that doesn't always happen, guys. Like you might look at the girl and just from the body you're like, "Man, I really want this one." But then when you start to like talk to her, she might not have all the like she might not reach all the, check marks in terms of like what you really want to be with in long terms and stuff. Like the girl you're with is meant for you because that's who you're supposed to be with, right? So, uh she's not all the way there, right? But in terms of like looks, she's got the 10. She's got a 10 out of 10. So you're like, you're blown away. So that's what I mean by lust, guys. Like, you might just lust after this girl because I think the reason why that is because one, you're not on like, your mindset clearly hasn't changed yet since you've been doing retention. Because if you've been on the journey for long enough and you're with your girl, you're not gonna really care so much. Like if your girl's already good looking, you're not gonna care if the number one walks in. Like you're gonna look at her and just be like, oh, she's a friend. She's cool. Like you're not gonna obviously like hug her and stuff if you don't know her, but like you're just gonna like be cool with her like you would be with like any other girl that you meet. So that's the interactions that you want to have when you're like on retention. You want to have interactions with women like they're your friends, like platonic, right, guys? You want to be able to like talk to them and like really speak about mature things and not be have like all these like undertones of like sleeping together. You get what I'm saying? And it helps more when you're in a relationship. But even if you're not in a relationship, you want to be a single guy and still have this like, maturity mannerism to your presence. And that's what's going to allow you to have more discernment and like decipher your way, not even decipher, just have more discernment with the women that you'll be with. And that like the woman that you're gonna be with is prescribed to you, right, guys? Like it's just gonna naturally be drawn. Like you're naturally gonna be drawn to the one you're supposed to be with, and then you're not like I've noticed like if you're in a good relationship, you're not thinking about any other girls, right? Right, guys. Like you're in a good relationship, you're not thinking about another bad chick. It's only when you start thinking about another chick is when like the relationship kind of like shifts a little bit. You know what I mean? Or she might start be thinking about like somebody else, you know? That's when the relationship kind of like has like a rocky moment, right? Or it has like those kind of things are like tests from God. Like it might be a test from, the other entities or people or things, but I think it's from like a test from God to like see like how stable you are with your connection with your significant other. And I know this is like not really about that, but I'm just saying, guys, like put it in a perspective of reality, right, guys? So say you've eliminated lust, guys. This is what's going to happen. You're going to move through the world in a more efficient way. Like without lust, it becomes easier, right? You'll be watching these YouTube videos or you'll be watching like Instagram videos, and yeah, like you see good looking women on your phone. That's going to happen. Kind of like no matter where you go, you can try to avoid it for a while and you can do a pretty good job about it if you're like very, focused and stern with your, not stern, but focus and have like good discernment on what you should and shouldn't be watching, right, guys? But then it gets to the point where I think that you start to realize a lot of people are tapped into like the social media realm. So, in order for you to be more connected to society's like standards and like attract like the person that you want into your life, you have to have no lust, but still move through this world that's so lustful. So, you're gonna have moments where you see a girl, you're not really interested in her in that way. She's a good looking girl, you want to get her number, you want it to be platonic, you want things to like, happen the way they're supposed to happen, yada, yada, yada. And then she might catch feelings for you, right? And now you're like, man, like, I'm not, I'm not into wanting it to be that way. So now you have to cut off a relationship of a person that might have been a cool individual to hang out with, but she was like pressing you too hard. Or it could be the other way around, right, guys? Like a lot of guys are like that with women. And I think that it's because they're too lustful, or women can be the same way too. And they're usually that same way is if you have something that is of value, right? For men, it's more about value. For women, it's value too. It works both ways, guys. Like everything that works one way, it happens the other way. It's like we live in this duality of life, so it works for both ways. Like if a guy has like an extremely good physical build and he has money and he has status, and women are going to be more attracted to this man than other men because he's put so much work into himself that his character, his build is different from the average Joe Smo. Or a woman who does the same thing, she might put more energy and effort into her physical fitness and her status and her ability to raise children or whatnot, right, guys? Like these are all things that matter in terms of living here on this planet, guys. Like if you want the best of the best, you got to kind of be of equal or close to or even better of quality. Sometimes we think that we're always wanting to have more than what we have, but a lot of the times what we want is not what we get. We get what we're supposed to get when it's time to get it. I like the saying from Game of Thrones in the beginning episodes. I think it was like episode 1 or 2 of Game of Thrones when I forgot the actor. It's been a while, guys, but he says a man gets what he earns when he earns it. And it's a very true statement, guys. Like you get what you get when you've done the task. Or I mean, it's not necessarily like that doesn't really correlate to what I'm talking about, but like it kind of does, right, guys? The status, the promotion, the woman of your dreams, or for a woman, the man of your dreams. You know what I mean? You get it when you're ready to get it. And if you don't get it, guys, like say if you don't end up in a relationship or you don't um what am I trying to say here, guys? Look, if you don't end up into something that you really want, realize it's either not your time or you've already had it in a previous life, or you might have it in a couple lifetimes ahead of like what it is right now. Like you have to look at it in a perspective that way and focus on mostly what you're doing in the moment right now. It's hard to say that because it's like with me, since I am not really tripping off of like being with girls right now. Uh, but I'm still open to the idea of being in relationships and stuff like that. It's different for me, Life is different. It's prescribed me a different like role in life, guys. It's not that I'm afraid of it. It's not that I don't mind it. You know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say, guys. It's like you get more comfortable with understanding yourself more than being with someone else, guys. Like especially as you age, like you're like, why not work on myself before I decide to be with somebody else, right, guys? So, uh, back to the main topic because I keep getting all over the place here. And lust, guys, just remember that the goal is to kill the lust. Try not to be on Instagram too long, scrolling too long on girls' pages, guys. Like that can be a lust in itself. It's all about how you think about it, right, guys? Like I don't mind seeing stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like, do you need 4 or 5 or 6 girls? Which is fine. You can have that. Like you can have like 6 different women that you're like, man, like these women are like really attractive. I like them on my page. I like going on Instagram. I like seeing what they're doing. I like I like seeing how they look in different bikinis and yada yada. Cool, that's fine, guys. That's totally fine. Or different outfits. They don't have to be bikinis, guys. Like what I'm trying to say is, guys, is like you have to have more discernment with what you're looking at and how often you're looking at it and when you're looking at it, guys. Like you have to have some control. You have to have some control over how much entertainment, or not even entertainment, how much you're indulging. It's not entertainment, guys. Like, please, for God, help me with that one. It's, for oh my God, I said entertainment. Look, guys, what I'm trying to say is simple. Uh, you got to limit yourself with these things, right, guys? Like, it's. I like to think of it like a Sports Illustrated magazine, right, guys? Or a you go into a liquor store, for instance, and you're going in there to buy like a soda or something, right? Or you're going to a gas station now, and like, but it's more of like on a like rundown kind of like area. Maybe it's not a rundown area, but it's just you're going into a gas station. Let's make it simple for you guys here. You're going into a gas station, but you see like the Dallas Cowboy or Dallas, uh, football cheerleader poster on the wall, right, guys? Like when you're in there, you're not searching for that poster in particular, guys. Like you just happen to see it. Is it like off-putting or no? No, no, no. It's not. Like it's like if you're in like a store and you see like a fitness magazine and the front cover of the guy is like jacked, right? He's like wearing like a shirt or something. He might even be like not wearing a shirt. You know what I mean? That's less likely, but you get what I'm saying, guys. It's like things like that are common and you're going to see them throughout your life, but it's only when you're going to search out those things and you're like looking at it for too long where it becomes almost a lustful state, guys. It depends on how you think about it. It depends on how much energy you're investing in these things, guys. So just remember that that can lead to your relapse if you're not careful with it. So have discernment and try to do something else besides that. You know what I mean? Try to do something that's more productive or get outside and move the energy around a little bit, guys. Or just be in person with some women and just talk to them, or be around your buddies, or hang around your friends, or be at the gym, right, guys? That way you're like spending that energy in a more efficient way, guys. And realize that releases are going to happen. Like your mind is going to take some time to detox from a lot of these things, guys. And even with lust, I feel like that's the hardest one to get rid of because almost everybody has a little bit of lust in them. You know what I mean? Or a lot of lust in them. So there is just that. I think when you get older, some guys are able to transcend this, and other guys never transcend it. They're older, the lust has never left them. They're just gonna lust. They're always gonna lust, and they either are successful with women or they're not successful with women, and they choose to do other means and whatever, guys. Like I don't need to get into the details of that, guys, but stay focused, stay on your journeys, guys, and remember, you know, keep retaining. Don't be too strict or too hard on yourselves, guys. If you happen to be looking at Instagram models, realize that's not as bad as looking at some stuff on the internet where, the hub, right, guys? That's not as bad as watching the hub at all. Like, you're still getting dopamine releases, but it's not as intense and it's not as visual and stimulating and just too much for the brain to like be watching constantly, guys. Like you shouldn't be watching that all the time. Just and if you are, guys, if you're watching the hub, try to at least take breaks from watching that, right? Take baby steps to like your goal. I think that's like a big part of the journey in itself is like if you're if you could just stop watching the hub, but you're still like releasing, or you're with your girl, you're still releasing, right? That's a step in itself. You have a conscious decision of letting go of something and you're bettering your life. Now, you might go through a little bit of rocky, rough patches because of it, but you're going to feel a lot better because of it, guys. So, uh, you know, peace out. Enjoy your days. Have a blessed day. And see you on the next video.